Geometry Dash is a completely community-made game. A lot of its creations are completely made in the likes of two separate categories, difficulty and decoration. They're not very different things, as a lot of Extreme Demons that you see now have extremely well-detailed things. But we're not looking at any of those high-detailed levels today. We're looking at the other end of the spectrum, the easy Extreme Demons. And there's one level to me that stands out. When you talk about beginner extremes, you often find out about levels like Aku, Cataclysm, but there is one big level that stands out to me. And a lot of other people have this opinion, but I hit different. In general, this is my favorite creator ever, and one of my favorite levels from them. And I think you already know what level we're talking about today. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Allegiance by Nitrodox. Allegiance is a fantastic level, and I will forever be in love with it. I could go on for years explaining how good this level is, but I'm trying to keep this video beneath 30 minutes. Well, this was made by my favorite creator, and it's part of my favorite series, the Dedication series. A series of 4 levels with a very grayscale and rainbow color palette. The gray is obviously coming from the fact that it's like a boring Extreme Demon, like, watered down, but it's also combined with rainbow because back when Nitrodox made the first level Dedication, he couldn't decide on his own color. So what he did was that he would choose all of them, and this worked out perfectly for the rest of the series. Among the 4 levels in Dedication series, the year gap is clearly seen there, as throughout 2016 and 2019, Nitrodox was extremely passionate in making levels for the Dedication series, but when time to make the finale Anathema, things came to a bit of a halt, and it was until Hybrid asked Nitrodox to revive the level, then it became alive, and finished in 2022/2023. And that brought us to the amazing series we have now, with Anathema being my second favorite level, and Allegiance being my 4th favorite level. Now, in the original 3, which is Dedication, Allegiance, and Relevant, Allegiance is actually seen as the best of those 3 levels, for it being the best beginner Extreme Demon and also having the best deco, as with what Nitrodox's want for the entire series. Relevant didn't really carry out what he wanted, as he was super demotivated, and Dedication was just a base plan for the rest of the series, so it didn't really peak as much as Allegiance. But I'm here to talk about the level. I'm not here to talk about the Dedication series, so without further ado, let's get right into talking about the Dedication series and why Allegiance is my favorite beginner Extreme Demon. Just like Aku, Allegiance is all about learning what to do in the level. As you can see, this cube gameplay playing right now is obviously really difficult for a newcomer, but it's all about learning what to do. Now, as a first player perspective, you should not be going for the first parts. In fact, the beginning is very easy, and the ending is also pretty easy. All of the difficulty relies on the main part of the level, the drop. See, to a new player, the drop looks completely impossible. You see, it is actually really easy once it's learned, but if you're a new player, you'll be crashing at this part over and over and over again, trying to figure out what to do. The best tips I can really give you with this UFO is to play at a really slow speed, understand what is going on, and also maybe watch some other videos of the click pattern. There are some easier ways to do this UFO, as honestly it's just all about flow, so if you can find another way to do it, do whatever, but I personally prefer with the way that I do it. Now, as for the ship, it's not really learn-based, but except for like just the fact that this whole level is just kind of learn-based, especially this part where just you have to know what's coming up with the fact that you don't really know where you're going, because the whole level is dark. So this wave part and the ship part before it are actually heavily debated. People actually don't know which part is harder. They don't know if it's the wave part or the ship part. I personally had way better experience with the wave than the ship. The ship has a stupidly annoying green orb. so I didn't struggle too much with it. Everything past the wave is just not dying and knowing what's coming next. And then all you need to do is handle the transition and then the straight fly, and then from there all you have to do is just not choke the ending, and that's pretty much it. I'm convinced anyone who plays Allegiance for the first time is confidently able to learn the first cube and the drop, and all they have to do is just know what is coming up with the ship, the ball, and the wave, and then pretty much all that's left is learning the duel part at 80%. Now, this duel looks impossible at first, but this dual transition is really the only difficult part, and from there, all you need to do is just learn how to stabilize the ship into the transition as well, and from there, all you need to do is handle the rest of the level, which is still extremely hard. You see, the last 10% of the level has this extremely difficult ship, where you must do 2 green orbs. Now, I'm not really concerned about the green orbs themselves, I'm more talking about the transition at 91. Which is a hard spike gap after the screen completely turns black for a fraction of a second. I mean, who is reacting to this? This is one of the most unfair parts of the level, but it really is not that bad. I only ever died to this many times on it after passing 85. So after 85, I died to these deaths this many times. So now that brings me to my next page about Allegiance in my script, and that's about the wave versus ship part in Allegiance debate. Which part is actually harder? Now, the wave part in Allegiance is actually, not nearly as long, but it is really, really hard. I will admit it's one of the hardest parts in the level, but if you have even a slight bit of wave talent, you really won't struggle with it much. The ship is way worse, as not only is it just extremely tight with a little bit tighter than normal straight fly, it's also a green orb transition, so it's even harder, and you're also clicking with an orb, so you're going straight up, and the level is completely obstructing your vision, so going straight up dead into the dark is going to be extremely annoying, especially because the light follows you, and I don't really know how well to explain it. But yeah, I personally would say the ship part is way harder than the wave part, but even though both of them exist, obviously that doesn't compare to the parts after it. 81. This click is silent, I swear. This click has actually caused me so many deaths. Here is how many deaths I've died to it from 0. It's insane. And here's how many runs I lost to it. Now, my number one tip for playing levels like Allegiance and just beginner extremes in general is to take it slow and just realize that it's gonna take a while. I don't really have much more advice to give you other than to really just lock in on learning the level, as the hardest part is just learning the level, and once you've learned it, it's so smooth. It's honestly smoother than slicing butter. It is just so fun, and honestly, that's why it places so high on my favorite levels, and honestly, just the way it looks is also just brilliant. Obviously, Renovate is the worst looking level in the Dedication series, but I mean, just look at the gameplay in the background. Clearly, it looks great. Come on now, it looks absolutely amazing. So, all my message is just, if you ever plan on playing the Dedication series or Allegiance, I would really recommend playing all of them at some point in your career. Maybe play Anathema on a practice run. I know I have played Anathema on a practice run, a couple of them. It's pretty fun. Obviously, you have to do it in slowdown because it's a top 10, top 15 now, but it's a really, really fun experience, and trust me, it hits really different when actually playing them, because if you're, even slightly good at the UFO, you'll find, the main parts the best, as the main blueprint was that Nicodox would use the UFO as the main game mode, as it wasn't really used much in the drop at the time. So that's really the backstory behind how Allegiance became what it was, as it just, started as a UFO, and they just progressively made it better and better and better. And honestly, I just couldn't be more proud of the series. Obviously, Nicodox is my favorite creator ever, as I've said in this video multiple times, and I've been waiting to make this video for so long where I could just finally yap about the Dedication series, and Allegiance, and just all the great, amazing things about it. So thank you for watching this amazing video. It's not usually as long as it normally is, but who knows. I do have many other videos planned involving FNAF, but I decided to switch it up with my first GD edited video, as I don't normally edit my GD videos, it's more just completions. But thanks for watching, and goodbye.